So today we have something special in store for you guys. We actually have the 5K MTT running coin poker, and it's for the first time in a very long time. He fold his hand. Flop a king here. Just pot bet. I think we reserve the smaller size for hands that we hit the flop harder with. Take it down. And now we have Jabberwocky, also known as Gavin, on the ropes. I have him on the ropes. He loves to call me. We're unblocking all the pairs. Pot bet. Here we get our chips in quite favorably. We face some bad news on the turn. And we bing the river. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Why do you keep playing poker? Is it because you really enjoy it, or to reach certain financial goals? If you had 15 million more, would you still play the same hours? Probably, because I have more money than I'll be able to spend, and the same thing goes for my children and the children of my children. I really enjoyed playing poker. I have been retired 1.5 years from the game, but I really missed it and decided to come back. Okay, we open up a table here. As the guy who was joining it was the VIP. You mentioned financial literacy. Do you have books, YouTube channels, or blogs? Yeah, okay. You want to slow play some of your flushes. Might as well do it with the jack high, blocking the jack high flush and having protection. Mr. Funky Fresh bets into me, and we are going to raise. We're blocking the straight flush, so we do have the actual nuts. And now we have to make sure that we're creative enough to find that line with bluffs as well. What role you think is required for the highest stakes, like 10 million? If you're talking about the 100k tournaments, probably more than 10 million, but you should be okay with 10 million. Wow. Right bottom table, aces against sixes, aces against ace-6. Oh my god, it seems very wide. Let's stack off. Oh my fucking god, 450k pot, 95% equity. Ace, jack, 7-8 double suited. Open from the Jabberwockies. I think this is a mandatory 3-bet. I do think you get a lot of respect from the big blind for having a strong hand, because people in general just lean flat call instead of 3-bet. Kind of board that hits our range super good. I'm trying to find a size that works for our entire range. 1/5 seems to be fine. The jack is actually not so good. Any queen with a pair on the board makes a straight now, so no need or impossible for us to bet. And if he checks back, we might have a super funky bluff combo. We need to go big. I think we can potentially even go smaller with the ace jack. It's one of the worst hands we have, to be honest, so I think turning it into a bluff is pretty cool. And he knows that, like, he knows playing a lot of strong hands from that position. Not too bad. We bet here with the king and the flush draw. Checking probably fine as well, but sometimes you want to bet. Ace king. Gonna check call. It's hard for him to have air for sure, so it's not like a slam dunk spot or anything. Okay, we take another nice one down. A very playable hand. King's not that likely, so I feel quite confident about my hand. Check raising, I don't think it's strong enough to check raise, so I think the play here is to just bet it. It's almost like I'm repping king here, so if he is holding a king, I think he's going to be very inclined to call. He does end up folding. We were holding an ace, which means he has less aces on average. Here with the ace queen queen, we're gonna 3-bet the open from Gavin. I think we want to do a lot of checking on this kind of board. The trap worked, and is strong enough to get in. Top set with a backdoor nut flush draw. Beating a lot of weaker 2 pairs, a lot of draws. Even against Jack 10 we're doing quite fine. He's all in. It's King Jack 3-3. See if we can survive. We can't. We can't. We cannot. It's unfortunate. Would have been a nice stack, but we still get to buy in. Queen, queen, 8-10, double suited. Opportunity to reshove. I'm gonna check it back. Jabba is gonna be having quite wide ranges. Deuce on the river. Small bet. Quite the easy call. He did have the aces. Thanks for joining. Yo, Vinny, nice stream and videos. How did you first cope with downswings running bet in the start of your career? I try to rewire my brain a little bit, so I try to put a lot of emphasis on winning in expected value over actually winning money. I think it's a better way to track your progress. And my results in EV were always relatively good, so that meant that I never got super insecure about my game. Very decent flop here. Opponent goes all in, let's see. Okay, 50-50. It's a good turn. And that's a better river. A little freestyle for you guys. Second best hand you can have in Hold'em. Here with the kings, we're just gonna rip it in. Or at least that's the plan. Quick call. Checks. Okay. The reads are on. The reads are on. No jack, please. Oof. Looks like a jack, but it's not one. I think it's okay to check. Hope for an overcard, hope for a couple of outs. We go all in. I have 72% right on the second table. I'll finish this first. We win. Going there now. I think both flat calling and just getting it in are extremely viable options. We're ahead, 55%. This is an extremely important one, and we do win it, which means we're gonna be chip leading. With 4 left. Going to call this hand. This player has to fold almost all of his hands then and play a flop. Shove into my opponent if we get a piece. Oh, he does find the squeeze, and now he might find the fold, which is kind of worst case scenario. He does find the call, so we safely hit the muck. I think he almost always has a super strong hand here. And he wins, so we're in the money. As you can see, we're getting paid 15,000, 8k pay jump, and then a 15k pay jump. So we really want to compete for the win here. I'm gonna limp here again. I think we can call, but these are always like super iffy spots in tournaments. Like you really don't want to play for your tournament life. Ace on a turn. That's good for my opponent, but the way ranges are constructed now is that I also have a ton of aces in my, not aces, but singular aces in my check calling range. River 9, which is pretty awesome. I'm going to bet for value. We unblock the ace, so I think we just have an easy pot. Oh, it's a high 9. Yeah, this guy can't miss against me. It's very unfortunate. It would have been almost flip in the chip lead, and now we're bleeding down. Open 3-bet and a call. Monotone flop and a quick call, so 97%. Okay, pay jump, 23k. And a chance to become the champ. Not too bad. Good luck, sir. Not wasting any time. I have to fold. One of the best PLO players in the world, really, so not expecting him to give it away. He's been incredibly close with the ante. We're probably calling king 3. Okay, we can work with that. We can work with that. Very likely that this hand will be an all-in. Small bet for my opponent. I think we just rip it. He's playing his super strong hands like this as well, but also his air hands. Okay, we'll take the first one down. I think this is going into the limp raise category. Should be strong enough. Checking back. 10 SPR. It's not like we want to get our whole stack in, I think. Won't be the worst thing in the world, but barely ever. We're truly ahead of his stacking of range. This round has been unfortunate. We're just gonna check it down. So super disconnected. Might be fold if he opens, but limp. I think most of the time we're betting here. Just want to get money into the pot with the nuts. Just really thinking about every hand very hard. With the small raise, I think we're just gonna come over the top and put my opponent all in, or nearly all in. So I almost always have queen 10 here, and if not, it's gonna be a hand like 8 with a flush draw or something along those lines. Oof. Clean river. Really wonder what he has. Hard to fold for a little bit more, but okay. He had the kings and he raised them on the turn, which is, I mean, completely fine. Potentially a hand we want to shove if my opponent bets. Does not. Again on the turn, everything's on the table. Betting, checking, betting small, check raising, check calling. He bets big. I think it's a fine combo to go with. Is he betting big and folding? I don't know, but we want to have these kind of hands as well. So calling doesn't seem too attractive. Let's see. Jack 8. Oof, and he just drills it. The king, 40%. Pretty happy with my shove. We have 40% against this value range. Second in the 5k. No first place, unfortunately. Not folding. Although it's kind of close. We 3-bet here. 6 should be a 7 maybe. Also the way it's suited is not optimal, but probably fine. King Queen 8 is a flop that my opponent hits quite well. Stab here, have pot, as we would with a lot of bluffs. You could even consider sizing up because you really don't want him to call, but I think this size works quite well. Does check raise me? I think we have an easy call. 6-7, 62%. Pretty standard hand. It's nice to get one back against this guy. Going to defend the big blind here. Now, given that there's a lot of pressure on me and we don't really want to like get our stack in, I don't think we play much of a raising range here. Gonna check again. And again, I think just check calling is fine. Don't need that much protection, and we don't want to play for stacks actually. In a cash game we would consider check raising there, but now we're blocking the 9 and we're blocking the flush, so I don't think we can consider folding. We should be opening way more hands. And he does have the king. Just lucky and unlucky at the same time. We didn't lose our stack there, which is nice. I think the king is a very decent hand to check back with. I do care about the min cash, but I think this is a relatively close spot. It's kind of okay to put some pressure on the thick rig. He never bluffs here, so he has aces always, and I think we can consider folding. I think that's actually what we're gonna do. Super crazy, it's such low SPR, but we have 30%, maybe 35, and it's a pretty big risk premium to busting. Wild hands. It's been a couple of bad hands, but we're still in the running to cash. Ace, queen, king, 7. Le François. Might defend a bit wider just to kick me out of the tournament. Wouldn't mind a fold. Flop is 7, and very likely we're gonna be all in on this flop. 60%. King on the turn. He's drawing to a 5 and a 5 only. And we do it. Just like that, we're back in the mix. If not, we're just gonna go for it. We're hoping for a fold. If not a fold, then a flop like this is not too shabby. He's gonna call any pair. He might fold. Imagine. Okay. Oof, 70%. That's a bad turn. That's a bad turn. Oh, that's me. Why not? Huh? Mr. All-in. 33 big blinds. We go from almost chip leader to almost broke to almost chip leader again. Up against the bends, we can limp call here, I think. Starting with check. Check call is fine. His size is quite big. Not super exciting to call here, but that's a pretty decent turn. Could consider leading, but given that we block the ace, probably checking is better. He bets. It's a funny size where people usually check back the river. Going to the final table. Dancing Daniel Negreanu. For this one, I think we're just gonna defend it. And I think we can just check fold this flop. He's trying to lure me and let me think about it a little bit more. I think it's time to jam. Oof, quick call, so it might be a set. Yeah, that's very bad small. You got me. Oh my god. Oh my god, I hit a check. Wow. You can run so hot in poker, it's insane. Okay, we have our first best out. Mats Amot is out of the tournament. ICM value from 9k going to, let's see, 9k going to 10k. Okay, it's go time. Ace, queen, 10, 6. We've waited. It's a pretty important one. We had a 6. Let's see. Let's see if it's enough. We can't fold now. He also has a 6. Ace, 6. Oof, we have to fit a king. Queen. That's us. Wow. We have so many extra lives here. No ace, and then we should be good. patient, serious skill to have. Ace, check 9-9. Somebody just bust. Again, what does doubling up do for us? Quite a bit in the spot. We have a serious chance to, if we do double up. Benz is not having it. I don't think he's bluffing here at all, but we're also not folding. His hand is just too strong. We're ahead against a lot of ace king queen combos, which would be nice. Oh, it's wilder than I expected. 57%. He hits the straight on the turn. This might be our last hand, and it is. Which is sad, but we got so lucky on the way here. We can only be thankful for still being in the tournament. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and ciao everyone.